Well, this is very interesting. It appears that I'm live streaming on Twitter, and I don't know that I am on YouTube at the moment. This is my first time live streaming. Bear with me. Generally, this is much more smooth, and we're going to kick this off. I want to see if I'm actually live streaming on Twitter or YouTube, because I'm not seeing that. So let's see here. I am live. I am actually live. Look at that. Well, welcome in, everybody. I am the Crypto Bull God, and this is all in the charts. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment. You got to click that bell icon for all notifications to know when I go live on YouTube. This is my first streaming appearance on Twitter, so we're going to see how that goes. I'll take a look back and see how things look, but yeah, trying to get out there and not only be on the YouTubes, but also be on Twitter, right? I'm very active on Twitter. I think I have you can see I have a much higher following on Twitter than I do on YouTube. I think there's a lot of people who are unaware that I actually live stream on YouTube, so I figure, you know what? Good way to get my presence out there, to let people know that I do this live. This is interesting. So the way that this works... is that I'm using a service called Restream, and you set Restream up to connect to OBS. OBS Studios is what I use to connect to YouTube. The issue I see here is that typically when I go into YouTube Studio, it shows my face, my smiling face, as well as the chat here. But now I'm seeing the chat come up in Restream. So it's going to take me a little bit to get accustomed to this. I do see DJ Neutronic. I see you in the house here. Thank you for tuning in. I see you on YouTube Studio, but I'm not seeing you on Restream. And I'm seeing others, like a gentleman from Greenland. Welcome in. I see the Garen Group. I see Kathleen as always. So you're showing up on Restream, and yet DJ is showing up on YouTube Studio. So this is very sort of awkward for the first time going through here. Guys, I'll get into the comments in a moment. We're going to... Waiting on CBG. That's interesting. Very interesting. So I am showing up in YouTube, but I have at least one person commenting that I'm not showing up. I'll have to look into that. We'll see how this goes. Let me, for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay attention to my Restream feed, and I'm going to get into the charts here. So very exciting day, guys. Very, very exciting day. We saw a huge pump up in the markets today. We saw Bitcoin go a little bit above $30,000. I kind of want to level set the conversation and have an honest discussion about where we're at with price. Now, if you've been on this live stream for quite some time, what I tried to do as always is I tried to keep things really stupid simple and give you three main things that you needed to look for. I believe the third item, I believe it was a while ago that I gave that. I believe the third item was getting that daily close above $30,000, and so we're nearly there. Now, the reason that $30,000 was so critical to close above is it represents a psychological area of price, okay? Generally, no matter what chart you're looking at, this is not Bitcoin specific. If you're looking at a chart and we're getting close to $1, you're looking at a chart and we're getting close to $100, or in the case of Bitcoin, you're looking at a chart and we're getting close to $100,000. These are psychological levels, right? So, let's fucking go. So right now, $30,000 is a psychological level, but there's something else that's critical about $30,000, and that is this. We're going to take this off for the moment here. That is this. $30,000 is so close to this $31,800 area. Okay, this is the monthly. This $31,800 that we can't seem to get above, right? And what did I say as I'm pulling up the right chart here? I wanted to have this up ahead of the live stream, but I was fooling around to try to get live here. Hopefully this is it. What the hell did I do with that chart? I need to pay someone to... clean up my trading view charts. That's what I need to do. All of these charts are not the charts that I'm looking at. Yeah, there is a potential rising wedge on Bitcoin Cash, by the way, if you're in Bitcoin Cash. Where the hell is this at? Where's my main Bitcoin weekly chart? Apologies, everyone. I'm assuming it's this one. If not, completely fucked up my... maybe I saved over something. Well, that's disappointing. Oh, no. Where is my main Bitcoin weekly chart? This live stream is getting off to such a slow start. This is not typically how these live streams go. Maybe this one? Jesus. Where did this go? Just bear with me one moment, guys. I want to pull up my main weekly chart here. I made too many copies. Sometimes you do these things at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Oh, no. I'm afraid that I lost my chart. Somehow I saved over it. That is so disappointing. Oh, no. Fuck me. 10:10. I already looked at this. Maybe, yeah, there's a lot of noise here. Thank you for bearing with me. I finally got the chart that I wanted here. I was evaluating different time frames on things. That got messy. Okay, so let's get back to the charts here. Sorry for that abysmal start. So basically, there's this huge region in here that we identified, right? But the top of this region is at $31,800. I might have put this at $32,000 because I like to keep things stupid simple on this chart. Whether you're talking about $31,800 or whether you're talking about $32,000, we're talking about the same price level. Again, something I've been hitting on to you guys. Once we clear the $31,800 mark, I am targeting, and it's not drawn here because this chart got screwed up, but I am targeting right here. This is where I'm anticipating to end the year. Hard to believe several weeks ago. It's getting a little less hard to believe, but still hard to believe. But I believe we're going to end the year between $35,500 and $48,000. I've signaled that many, many times for the past several weeks here. Okay, so the idea behind getting above $30,000 and staying above $30,000, now we're above the psychological level that's so hard to get above, that $30,000 area. We are roughly 6%. Okay, quick math in my head. 6% away from this $31,800 area. Now, we've hit this area a multitude of times, okay? We've hit this area a multitude of times, and we know the more we hit resistance, once we've hit an area of resistance more than 3 times, the odds are significantly increasing that that area is going to break. So what I'm saying is we get that daily close above $30,000. To me, there are no guarantees in charting, but in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, it's almost a guarantee that we're going to come up to 31.8. And once we come up to 31.8, it's no guarantee, but in my head, there's a very high likelihood. The odds are more favorable than not that we're going to smash through that, right? I'm anticipating seeing your true green Jesus candle when we smash through 32. I think we're going to see some sort of a green Jesus candle enter this area, right? Now, I'm not saying we're going to end the year at $48,000. You're not listening to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we could hit a high of $48,000, but ultimately I believe we're going to land somewhere in this area, which would be very healthy for the trend. I kept saying to you guys, let me try to paint this a little bit clearer. We have a base, a rise, a base, a rise, a base, and now we're going to have another rise and a base, right? We don't want to enter that parabola too soon because parabolas, while exciting, are unsustainable. Guys, if you think today's price action was exciting, I mean, literally in the grand scheme of things, yes, this is exciting, but this is nothing. This price action today that we saw is nothing. Bitcoin being up 3, 4, 5, 6%, that is nothing. The days that I'm really waiting for are the days that I've seen from the past, right? I'm using history to tell me not what is certain, but is probable, okay? And in days past, the days to really get excited are the days that you see Bitcoin up 10%, 15%, 20%. You see altcoins up 50, 60, 70, 80. I'm talking about major altcoins too. I'm not talking about your 1,000 market cap ranking coin. No, I'm talking about coins in the top 100 up 50, 60, 70, 80%. Those are the days that I'm waiting for. This is a precursor to that. We are literally just warming up. This is nothing, guys. And I want to temper your enthusiasm because as bullish as I am on the price action, we still always have to take an unbiased, unemotional, factual view of the data, right? And ask ourselves, where are we really at with price? Well, if we go to the 12-hour, and if you don't know the historical significance of the 12-hour, you clearly haven't been following this channel because there's a lot of statistical significance behind the 12-hour chart. You can see, while most people are not paying attention to this, on the 12-hour chart, this is historically significant that we're getting a golden cross here in the coming couple days here. Not only is this is a true golden cross because the 200 has begun to flatten out here and it's going to continue to curl up so long as price action remains up here, right? So the 50 is going to start curling above the 200, which will begin to continue to flatten out and curl up. You're going to have both of those moving averages like a weather forecaster. You're going to have both of those moving averages moving up, okay? That bullish momentum from this lower time frame on the 12-hour, it's going to bleed into the daily, and eventually we're going to get this golden cross, right? This will, in my opinion, have been what they call a nothing burger, right? This death cross here will have been very short-lived, okay? So the main thing that you want to watch for on the daily is sustaining itself above the 200 simple moving average. Now keep in mind, on the daily here, okay, the 200 simple moving average is sitting just at over 28,000. We've spoken many, many times on this live stream for several weeks on all of the price confluence. I pointed to 4 charts. I pointed you to another chartist the other day who pointed to a 5th chart. In that $28,000 region, there is a lot of price confluence on several charts. The fact that we're well above that area is very bullish. Let me point you to the #1 chart in terms of the $28,000 area that we needed to watch, which is now looking extremely favorable at the moment. And I'll tell you what to watch for. This is the Gaussian channel. Again, just showing general expectations here. General expectations. I'm not saying we're hitting $60,000 on February 12th. That's not what this chart is showing. It's showing you general expectations, which is actually following it pretty well right now. So right now, what's very good to see is we're exiting the Gaussian channel, okay? What you want to see, and more than likely I will live stream on Sunday before Philadelphia kicks Miami's ass on Sunday Night Football, I will do a quick weekly close live stream. What you want to see on Bitcoin, I'll give you one price level to watch for. Let's close the week out on top of the Gaussian channel at or above 28,660. So I'll keep it, let's just try to keep the numbers that much more simple. 28,700. I want to see Bitcoin by the end of this week on Sunday. We got 2 days to go and a lot can happen, right? Just being a realist here. Do I think that we're going to close above 28,700? Yes, I do, based on price action. Is it possible we could close under? Yeah, absolutely. So we need to keep an eye on it. 28,700 is the most critical price level I would be watching for. Now, the next thing to follow in this chart that you want to watch for, we need to stay above the Gaussian channel on a weekly closing basis. Again, I don't care next week if we dip all the way down here to 27,800. If something like that happens, 27,900. But we need to close the week out above that $28,700 mark, because if we re-enter the green Gaussian channel, that's not a good sign. We need to stay well above it. I don't care if we bounce off of it like in this case, but let's start going much higher. I want to get well above this Gaussian channel and stay out of it. I've covered the history on this Gaussian channel, okay? So I don't need to regurgitate that information. But it's very bullish that we're starting to see that close above the Gaussian channel. Another weekly chart that I wanted to take a look at with you guys that's beginning to clear up. I love what I'm seeing here. Let me point out a couple things on this chart. This is the Williams alligator. We've covered this at nauseum on this channel as well. You want the green above the red above the blue. Okay, that's all you need to do. You just need to know color coordination. You can see they're starting to curl in the right direction. Price is all the way up here. Price is the black line. You want that black line above all of your moving averages, right? So technically you want black, green, red, blue. That is the formation that we're starting to get in this chart. We had every right. I had every right to come out here and caution you guys when this started to happen. I had every right to come out here and caution you guys when this happened, okay? These were all major warning flags. At the moment, it appears to be a fake out, okay? The probabilities were not in our favor to not see some sort of more downward price action here. But it seems like all of what I've called this muckiness in the chart is beginning to clear up, which is great, very bullish. But we need to remain patient. I am waiting. It is October 20th, okay? So we have all of next week. Boy, November is coming up quick. November is going to be an interesting month for me personally in more ways than you realize, which I'll share at some point later in the year, early next year. But we have all of next week, and we have a half of next week to go to close out the month of October. That is really what I'm interested in here, okay? This is the monthly chart, and what I really want to focus on, let's get off all these moving averages, actually. I don't really want to muddy up the charts, although it's good that the moving averages are starting to turn in the right direction here. But what I do want to show you is something I'm personally watching for. First off, let's look at the MACD. Let's focus on the MACD. As you can see, the histogram is beginning to turn dark green. The bigger that histogram, this area right here, the bigger this histogram, this rectangle is, and the darker green it is, the more bullish, okay? The more we can expect that this MACD, let's draw the trigger line. The trigger line, what we're calling the trigger line, on the MACD is at 0, okay? So once we can get above 0 here, that is when you look at the history of the charts, we've seen significant moves in Bitcoin. We're very close. If we can get a very bullish close for the month of October, the month of November will provide the potential opportunity to be the month to get a close above 0. Okay, so we could finally on the monthly, we have not been above 0 on this trigger line on the MACD for Bitcoin. We haven't made a cross above it from below 0 to above it. Wow, we haven't even ever gotten below it. I shouldn't say. The last time we had a significant cross on the MACD was June of 19, and really, actually this cross here was really July of 20. So comparably speaking, I would say this getting above 0 and having a positive cross on the MACD would be most comparable to back in July of 2020 / August of 2020, okay? So it would be monumental. The other thing I'm watching for, enjoying a nice Pinot Noir on this Friday. You guys know Decoy Pinot Noir, if you've ever had that before. It's a very good red wine. If you're ever out to eat, you have a little picture of a duck on there, Decoy, Decoy. Very good Pinot Noir. I highly recommend it if you like reds and you like Pinot Noirs as well. The other thing I'm going to be watching for here on the RSI, I have two main areas on the monthly. Again, we're looking at the monthly chart on Bitcoin. Let me zoom in here. Now, as you can see, I have drawn a historical area of price confluence on the RSI, just like on price data, okay? We have areas of price confluence. There's also areas of price confluence on price indicators, in this case, the relative strength index. Now, typically what we would like to see for price is we'd like to see for price to stay above the 50 RSI on the monthly. When we start to bleed below the 50 on the RSI, these areas below 50, below 50, below 50 beer virus, they represent large pockets of decreasing values in Bitcoin. Bitcoin going down, number going down, no bueno, okay? So we want to definitely get above 50. We've retained, you can see we temporarily lost 50, which was not good. Let me get this orange line off. I don't need this orange moving average line. Just focus on the RSI. So you can see we're back above 50. Thumbs up. But I've identified this 58.6 area. We want to see, let's call it 59. All right, let's just, again, keep it stupid simple. We want to see the RSI get above 59. Now, this monthly close is going to help us out. If we can get a monthly close that gets the RSI more towards 52 to 53, and then November can do its trick, we could get two positive things potentially going into December. We could get this RSI hitting up against 59, the MACD hitting up against a positive cross zero, but nah. There is one more very positive thing I see going on here. Now, we've spoken about the stochastic RSI on the monthly. Typically, when we've gotten across below 75 here, I've identified, okay, and we've trended lower. You can see this decrease here, this decrease here, and this decrease here. All three of those events, and I'll spare us from looking at the chart, but for those of you who have been here for a while, you can see what year it was, what month it was, and you can put yourself in place at that moment in time and know it was a huge decrease in value. Typically, all three times, okay, on the stochastic RSI on the monthly, once we've gotten that negative cross down and we've started to go below 75, no bueno, okay? You can see for the moment, and this is a big deal, guys. This is a very big deal. We've pivoted off of literally 75.5, and it looks like we might want to get a positive cross here. This is a very big deal. All engines a go. I want you to look for this on a monthly. All engines a go, fucking guns a-blazing. When three things happen on the monthly, on the price indicators, I just want you to look at three price indicators. MACD, we get our cross above zero. That's check mark number 1 of 3. RSI gets above, at or above 59. Check mark 2 of 3. Stochastic RSI, we have a positive cross, and we got the blue above the orange, and we're still above 75. Check mark number 3 of 3. When those three things show up on the monthly chart, you should be seeing price going much. Did I mention the word much? Did I say that? Much higher, okay? Remember, your altcoins, okay? Your Kaspas, your XRPs, your Hedera hash graph, Decentraland Mana, Sandbox, Harmony One, Digibyte. All these projects are not going to start going ballistic until you see Bitcoin break $69,000. What is 69? 69 represents many things in life. But in this case, 69 represents the prior all-time high in Bitcoin. So until Bitcoin breaks that $69,000, that historically has not been the point. You've had to wait until that point in time for your alts to really run. Now, what is also going to lend credence and increase the likelihood that Bitcoin is going to break $69,000? Guys, I don't know if you're aware of this, but there is a positive correlation, okay? Despite what some prominent Twitter spaces have said, I haven't done Twitter spaces yet, I gotta do that. Despite what some prominent Twitter spaces have said, there has been what I would call a lag in the correlation between equity and crypto markets that is going to be realized this quarter. But in general, there has been a positive correlation which has existed between equity markets and crypto, right? So what that means is, as one goes up, so as equities go up, in general, crypto does the same thing. If the equity markets are going down, in general, crypto does the same thing. Just like there is an inverse, not a positive correlation, an inverse relationship in general between the DXY, the Dixie, the dollar index, and equity markets, and the DXY and crypto markets, right? They generally go in opposite directions. Now, where people often get confused with this is they say, well, my God, CBG, as you can see, the stock market has continued correcting, and this is not, by the way, this is not a bullish candlestick. This is a very, very bearish candlestick on the S&P weekly close, okay? We closed at the all-time low. So they say to me, hey, look at this move. Look at this move between April, and I've commented on this so many times on this channel, and what did I say? We're going to get back to what I said because I think it's about to play out. Between April to July, we saw a rather large move in equity markets. And Bitcoin was more of a first quarter story. It really made its largest move January to March, did continue to chop and go a little bit higher in those successive months, but it didn't make a move like this, right? It continued to just sort of go sideways and down. And I said, guys, is all these 100,000 plus accounts on Twitter are telling you that there's a decorrelation taking place? My God, what's happening to crypto? And they're sort of like feeding into your emotions so they can get you to watch their content. What I said to you is a positive correlation does not mean day for day, week for week. Everything's going to move in the same direction. There are gaps in time that exist where they don't generally follow the same direction. But over time, once more data prints and more history prints within the charts, when we look back over time, we say, okay, there was a period of time, albeit several months there, where they didn't necessarily follow and weren't as positively correlated over that period of time. But you can see, this Bitcoin in this case, while it didn't move up as much as you would have anticipated for a positively correlated asset with the S&P here, 6 months later, it went much more aggressively higher than the S&P. So it caught up to that price movement from back in April to July, right? That's what I think is going to play out. And I've been saying that the entire time on this live stream. Again, I'm the person, one of the very, very few people who believes that the stock market, yes, the stock market, the S&P, the NASDAQ, these major indices, the Dow Jones, they're going to be printing new all-time highs sometime between the fourth quarter and first quarter of next year. Sometime within these next 6 months, 5 to 6 months, we're going to be seeing new all-time highs in the stock market. Now, why do I bring that up? I bring that up because for those of you new tuning in here, if you're catching me on Twitter, you're catching me on YouTube for the first time, one of the other general premises that I've shared with you, and it's just a fact in the charts, I'm not pulling this out of my ass, and think about it. Intuitively, it should make sense, right? Even if you're not a numbers guy and you're like, a lot of this chart shit doesn't make sense to me, I really want you to think about human psychology. If the stock market, let's say I am correct in what I'm saying, right? Now, we are getting a nasty weekly close. So let's say it takes us a little bit to recover here, and it's not until like January, February until we start to break out to all new time highs, okay? So the way I have it drawn here is March, whatever. Case is, we start to break out here in February, March towards new all-time highs in the stock market. What happens to human psychology? Well, I can speak to this in my family because I've had some conversations with certain people in my family, so I can speak to human emotions and psychology. What happens is, when we were down here, all of the dumb money, all of those money managers, all the dumb money was telling you that the stock market was rolling over and we were going to have a great collapse, a great depression. By the way, go back in history and fact check me on this. There were people coming out in this period of time, all throughout this period here, saying we were going to have a great depression, a massive collapse in the stock market. What did we do? We moved 32% higher. A lot of people lost out on this move. Now, what's happening with the current move? Market sentiment right now is so negative. And I shared a video with you, and I love Alessio Rastani's work. He put out a 4.5-minute video a couple days ago. I could not agree more. I tweeted it out on Twitter. That's why you got to follow me at Crypto Bull God on Twitter. He put out a 4.5-minute video that once again speaks to market sentiment being at all-time lows down here. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think that market herd mentality is going to play out? We're just going to crash? It's a possibility. I can't tell you definitively what's going to happen. More than likely, the contrarian view is going to take place. More than likely, we are at range lows and we're going to continue bouncing much higher. Now, if I'm correct in that assertion, love that word assertion, if I'm correct in that assertion, and we start heading higher here and breaking all-time highs, what do you think will happen to those people that were sidelined? They're going to get greedy and euphoric and say, my God, I missed out on all this move. I need to get in now. Okay? Didn't get in here. Didn't get in here. Didn't get in any of these spots. But I'm going to get in here as the stock market setting new all-time highs because I'm smart, all right? And sorry, I don't mean to make fun of anyone out there. Look, by the way, I have made plenty of horrendously stupid investment decisions, okay? We've all made those stupid decisions. The important thing is you learn from it, okay? That is the critical thing. So as that euphoria comes in here, what is created by that? Beyond greed, what is created is euphoria. What is created is a risk-on environment. And if it is a risk-on environment, there is no asset that will do better in a risk-on environment than cryptocurrencies. Artificial intelligence, AI plays, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, store value, payment remittances, meme coins, DEXs, whatever play that you want to make, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, whatever play you're going after, and hopefully you're well diversified, all that shit's going to go up once you're in this type of environment. Stock market's hitting new all-time highs. Bitcoin is going to be hitting new all-time highs. That is the time where money floods out of Bitcoin. It goes into your altcoins. New money comes into the market and says, oh my God, yeah, Elon Musk does love Doge. And you now can use Doge to buy that fucking tank of a Tesla that he's built, right? And Doge goes from 6 cents all the way up to 20 cents overnight, right? These things that people forget, it is so funny to me. It really is. It's hysterical. I sometimes do laugh to myself to see the human emotion out there. Like the same patterns of behavior that play out. People forget just how quickly this happened. All they do, it's called recency bias. Recency bias. All people remember, they don't remember that shit. That didn't happen. All they remember is this. This is the only thing that they remember. They remember SBF having orgies with whatever the hell he was doing. This is all they remember. They remember Gary Tyrant Fucktard Gensler. That's all they remember. They just remember the SEC cracking down and losing lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. Gary Gensler has to feel like the biggest piece of, I mean, he can say publicly whatever he wants, but he's got to feel like the biggest friggin' douchebag. Like, anyway, recency bias. This is all people remember, right? We don't remember this. We don't remember this. No, that's impossible. That was in the past. That'll never happen again. This, let me show you guys. This will never happen again until it happens here. And then it happens here. People, it's just amazing to see these human emotions play out over and over again. And again, guys, I want to stress to you, I have made some bonehead decisions. If I was as successful at investing as I could have been, and quite frankly should have been, I wouldn't even be working my 9 to 5, just to be honest with you, okay? I wouldn't even be fucking doing this stuff. I would be full-time into crypto. But I've made mistakes, I've learned from those mistakes, and I am genuinely, and there's some humor in here, but I'm genuinely being very serious in what I'm saying and attempting to share these things with you. These human emotions continually play out year after year after cycle after cycle after cycle. It's the same thing over and over and over again. Let's get into some of your comments and questions. Market's still looking pretty sexy at the moment. Got a lot of comments here. Am I still getting YouTube? Interesting. I don't know what the heck is going on here because I see myself on YouTube. So I see on YouTube Studio, people are saying I'm talking to myself, but I'm looking at myself on my phone, and I see myself. So I'm not really sure what is taking place at the moment. Let me get back to Restream. Get into the comments here. Thank you for everyone tuning in. I know it is a Friday, so people probably have more exciting things to do than look at charts, so most people do. Not me. I am going golfing tomorrow. I am very excited about that. I haven't gone golfing in a while. I did warn my friend who I'm going golfing with, I plan on bringing plenty of tequila, and I'll probably be shit-faced by the 5th hole. So it's gonna be a good time. Half the fun of golfing is getting a little, well, you know, we have a good time. Just keeping things real. Let's see, who do we got? Always enjoy seeing Kathleen in here. CQT. Yeah, let's take some charting questions. I'm just going down the comments here. Of course I can. It's one of the things I do on this live stream if you're new here. I chart out whatever you guys want me to look at. And at times, if you want me to take a look at something in traditional markets, we can certainly do that. Typically, we've done that when things have been extremely boring. Things are starting to pick up now. So we'll take a look at CQT. That's why I pulled it up. Oof. Let me just get through the charts. You are here. Someone explained to me in the comments, DJ, please explain to me what your experience was like when I live streamed on YouTube, because I saw people join me seamlessly and I can see them on Restream, but then I could see your comments, in particular, DJ, on YouTube Studio, and it seemed like you were having an experience where I was not live streaming. So how did you go from an experience of where you didn't see me and you were like, no, you're not live streaming, to then being like, oh yeah, you're live? Please explain that in the comments, because I'd be curious what the user experience was like. I have no idea. I set up my, like I said, I set up my OBS key differently by going through whatever the heck it's called, Restream. DJ, let's fucking go. You're not going to get 19,000 most likely. Although, the one thing I would say, though, we're not out of the woods yet. You know, I did want to temper expectations, and I hope that no one missed that. There is a major lag. I can see myself. There is a major lag between the live stream and what I'm seeing. But what I was saying is we need to see how that monthly close comes in, right? I don't want to get too ahead of myself here. Nice bullish price action coming in today. There's plenty of reason to be cautiously optimistic, but I would not get overly excited yet because we're not out of the woods. So to me, I know you may not want to hear this, but I'm always going to keep things real. $19,000, you know, I signal many different price areas. 19 as an example, $19,000 is still a real possibility. We still have to get, we need to get much higher for me to get 35.5. I want to get up to that 35.5 to 48. Once we start getting up to the 35.5, 48, okay, we need to see something significantly turn to the bearish side for me to say 19 is possible. At this point, I'm still leaving 19 on the table as a possibility. Albeit, I think it's a much smaller possibility, but it's still a possibility in my opinion. We need to get up to that $35.5 to $48,000 area. By that point, if we do get up to that area like I'm anticipating, you'd have a lot of those price indicators and the price data itself turning very bullish, so you'd have to see something significantly turn to the downside to warrant for a major correction like that. So let's just be cautiously optimistic here. You and your 4-year cycle. I don't know how they got the name DJ. I just know it's decoy. Maybe it is duck decoy, like hunting. I don't know. I'm not a hunter, so I honestly didn't connect the two. First week back to work. Cheers to that. Yeah, that's Santa Claus rally track. That's Santa Claus rally. We'll see. Is this a super chat? This shows up so weird. I need to get this corrected. I think I got a super chat, but it shows up so weird in this restream. I do not like the way it shows up. I believe Lee super chatted me $10, a donation from the Jesus fam, even though all the haters, you can't stop the rise or the blessings. Well, I do see that meme coin, and I do see you guys shilling this project a lot on my tweets, and I do see you guys are local in Miami as well, so I don't know anything about the project. I don't know anything about the project. I do think it's a little comical that there is a token called Jesus. I do. You could come up with all sorts of memes for that one. All sorts of funny memes. And here's the thing, guys. Look, and we're not going to get into a religious conversation here. I'm Protestant, all right? I can take things lightly. Just because I'm Protestant, I'm Christian, doesn't mean that I can't see something out there like a Jesus coin and find a lot of humor in it, right? I don't get offended one bit. So, yes, we can certainly chart Jesus, especially since you super chatted me, which I appreciate. Let's get into the charts here. I'm starting to get some TA questions. So let's get into CQT, and then we're going to get into that Jesus, that thing they call a Jesus token. Now, and I think it was OOF. I'm not going to scroll back because I don't like this interface. We just charted this, right? And I remember charting this because we got this huge rise in price. Oof, nothing has changed. I don't have anything really to update you on. This is the weekly. We're right in between resistance and support. I did give you my commentary. I know we just spoke to this literally a couple days ago. Nothing really new to report here, my friend. Let's see how the week closes out. The most bullish thing we could do is stay above 10 cents. If we lose 10, we're going to 8. But I really want to try to maintain 10 cents, right? Because we sort of double bottomed here, and I want to maintain. What I'd like to see happen here is, we got this low, we got the high, we come in, we get the higher low, right? The higher low. Let's bounce up. Let's get a higher high. Now we have 2 higher highs and higher lows, right? So nothing really to update here, my friend. I don't have anything to add. All right, let's take a look at Jesus. Wow, yeah, this is on Poloniex, huh? What exchanges is this on? Okay, maybe I'll get me some Jesus. Woo! This thing he has risen. He has risen. Yes. Wow. This thing has had a monumental move. Look at this. What's the market cap on this? I'm just curious. Is this like rank 3,000 or what rank is Jesus coin? By the way, guys, I'm not affiliated with any tokens. I'm not an affiliate with Jesus. I'm not affiliate with any projects. These are people coming on here and asking their honest questions, or asking their questions. I'm honestly charting it. This is at rank 874. I think the last time we looked at this was much lower in market cap ranking. So it certainly had a significant rise. What's the market cap on it? Yeah, market cap's only 10 million. All right. So you can see here, this is on a weekly. General downtrend here. We've bounced out of it. I love to see the volume come in here. Now, is there anything that sticks out to you in this chart? It should. What have I said to you repeatedly on this channel? And this is also a major area of support that we happen to bounce on. We broke out of descending resistance right here, right? We had all this descending resistance. We broke out right here. What have I said to you guys countless times on this live stream? Many times. It's not a guarantee, but if you miss the move, be patient. Don't chase a trend. Do not chase FOMO. Allow the trend to come back to you. Look what we did. I said when we break descending resistance, we often like to come back test it as support if it's bullish, and use it as a springboard to go higher. It's literally exactly what we did on this chart. I mean, textbook for Jesus. Jesus would have it no other way. This thing walked on. I can come up with all the memes here. This thing walked on water right here and started making some wine right up here, man. Turned water into wine right there. Man, you could really come up with a lot of stuff for this. Significant move higher, right? So let's look at the 3-day. All right, on the 3-day, let's ask ourselves this question. Now, if we get a pullback, where would we like to see support come in? I'm going to give you a zone, okay? A nice zone of support. Ideally, now this is a very volatile asset, okay? So while this is, I'm going to make this lower right here. Now, while this is ideally, and this is on a 3-day, while this is ideally the area of accumulation that we'd like to see hold, okay, I would not be buying at these levels, okay? Never financial advice on this channel. I certainly would not be buying at these levels. I would be patient, okay? Could this thing rip higher and never look back? Yeah, absolutely. It could go to heaven. Hey, no pun intended. Actually, pun intended. It could go to heaven, but it could also go to hell. No, okay. Man, there's so many things you could say about this. No, but what we'd like to see, if the trend is going to remain healthy, let's see a nice pullback. Let's come into this region. Let's establish a higher low. Okay, we got 2 higher lows. And then let's continue moving higher. Now, with a really small market cap like this, I would not be shocked that even if this area holds up, we could see a wick in here, right? Huge wicks, right? Huge wicks go lower. We just want to see at the end of the day, weekly candlesticks print above here, okay? We want to see weekly candlesticks print above there, all right? Now, areas of resistance. Red is always for resistance. Green is for support. I need some support. You need some support? I need some support in my life. I mean, there's a wick here, but I like the price confluence. There's more price confluence up here. I mean, this is... Yeah, and then I mean, you could draw one here. I just don't want to get the chart too muddied up. These are your next regions of resistance. Once we clear this area here, this region here, blue sky breakout, we are going to heaven. We don't know where we're going. We could go very, very high or not much high at all and roll over. But generally when you break out and there's no price confluence, when you look to the left, there's a very good chance we could go significantly higher. We're creating new all-time highs. That's what I see in the chart. This thing has had a nice breakout. Very, very nice. Thank you for asking that question, and thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Sharing is caring. That's what the Jesus fam is. All right, I'll take a look at your project when I have free. You know, there's like 20 other things on my plate at the moment. You wouldn't be able to tell by the live stream, but I have a little bit more stress going on in my life than you probably realize. I'm balancing a lot of things right now, but when I do have a moment, I will check out the project. I will check it out. It's just I have too many things going on right now. Way too many. DJ is very well diversified. You do need a bulletproof Cybertruck if you live in New York City. That city has gone, and this is no offense to anyone in New York City or Chicago for that matter, but I've seen enough to know that I feel pretty positive that I have no interest in going to New York or Chicago anytime soon. Those things have gone to hell in a handbasket. Same thing with San Francisco. You know, I was telling my mom the other day that I had taken a trip out to... I went out to wine country in California several years ago. And this was right before the beer virus. This was fall of 2019. And we decided while we were there, we would take a quick trip into San Francisco. And we were both surprised with how much homelessness there was in San Francisco and how many, it just didn't feel like a safe area. There were people had pitched tents everywhere, like driving down the streets. It was a pretty rough scene. It's a pretty rough scene. And things have gotten worse in the past 4 years. I can't imagine what it looks like right now. It's sad state of affairs. Anyone could find themselves in that situation. You got to make sure you don't walk the straight and narrow in life. Things can spiral in your life pretty quickly. Just, you know. Oh, Jay Caspa. How's Caspa doing? Brother, I have a video out there on the $1 to $3. Is that possible? Still up 7% today. Digibyte's up 7.8. Nice. It's up 7% today. You can see I got my video out today on the countdown. It's already past 44. I think we're at 42. Yeah, we're at 42. It's just a matter of time, in my opinion. I just feel so uber confident. I have that countdown on there for a reason. I feel very uber confident this thing's going to make a giant swing in market cap that's going to push it all the way up towards H-bar. I think H-bar and Caspa are going to be kissing very shortly. These two projects, Caspa and H-bar, they're going to be making out real soon. They're going to be, one's going to be on top of the other, but they're going to be very close in market cap soon. Nope, didn't cash out anything on Harmony One. I have a crap ton. There are two streams, one working and one is not working. Your restream started a new stream and didn't use your scheduled stream. Interesting. Thank you for letting me know that. I have to fix that because this is... Yeah, this just says live with restream. That's not going to work. This is all in the charts. By the way, guys, if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, I'm not seeing a lot of thumbs up. I'd really appreciate the support. I'll get this figured out because this isn't how I want this experience to go. This is part of the all in the charts live stream. So disappointing it didn't work out that way. You want to go golfing with me? That'd be a fun time. Let me tell you. I don't take myself very seriously at all. Thank you, Lee. I do appreciate it. Oof, we all know that. You love your Dorkle. San Francisco. Guys, I covered Solano. I covered Solano on here a short while ago. By the way, did make that Doge entry today. Keep an eye out on BCH. I'm going to be interested to see if this plays out. I see a potential rising wedge here. Now, it doesn't need to play out. We could just break out of this thing. But this is a bearish. You could actually... like that. This is a bearish pattern. Wide here, and then it starts to narrow. Typically, these break down. But I've seen these patterns where we bust a nut out of it, come down, back test this as support, and continue moving up. So I'm just pointing it out to you. There is a rising wedge on Bitcoin Cash, so something to be mindful of. Yeah, actually, I did purchase a little Graph today as well. So Graph and Doge were the two choices for me. What the heck was I going to say? Oh, Solano is Jim Cramer. Remember Jim Cramer tried to keep you guys out of crypto? You remember Jim Cramer all this while has been trying to scare you guys out of crypto? He's been doing that literally all year. And how has that worked out? Who the hell would listen to Jim Cramer? I listened to Jim Cramer when I was in my young 20s, and I found humor in his content. But guess what I did? I did this thing called Growing Up, and I realized he's a clown. So I would do the inverse of Jim. Guys, this is beautiful. Looks like we're going to smash 27 here. I see targets at 36, 46, and 59. I mean... what did I tell you about this chart? You can give me whatever story you want about the fundamentals. It's you can tell me whatever bearish thing you want to tell me about the fundamentals. I'm going to look at this chart and tell you otherwise. This chart is telling me this is a very strong investment opportunity. Okay? Remember, the first thing that, let's take, and I'll bring it back to Caspa. The first reason I looked into Caspa was because I saw a lot of chatter on Twitter. I was like, God, what's up with this Caspa thing? The second thing I did is I charted it. Now, when I charted Caspa, I said, wow, I really love what I'm seeing here. Technically, this is a beautiful chart. What's going on fundamentally? So then when I did my research on the fundamentals, everything was just clicking on all cylinders. And I said, we have a fundamentally strong project and a technically strong project. I need to start DCAing into this heavily, which I've done. I'm not as privy to the fundamentals on Solana. Okay, Solano, as Jim Cramer would say. But as far as the technicals are concerned, this is a beautiful looking chart, guys. You can't tell me otherwise. I could give two shits less what you think of Solano. Solano has a beautiful looking chart. It does. And I'm kicking myself because I thought about purchasing a little bit in my retirement account when it was at this 2250 area here, and I didn't swap out any of my current tokens for this. So sort of kicking myself for that, but oh, Dave Ramsey. Boy, there's another genius to listen to. Dave Ramsey, if you're completely financial illiterate, the people who have no idea about finances, listen to Dave Ramsey, in my opinion. Let's take a quick look. Let's take a quick look at Caspa. We're going to close things out here. We've been live streaming for like an hour. So you can see here, 2-day candlestick set to close out. It would be very bullish if we can get a close above 4.91 cents. It's an area of price confluence I have, 4.9, 4.912 cent area. Again, what I've done is I've said to you guys, I've theorized. I did see at least one prominent YouTube account talk about a major 50. He was speaking to a major 50% correction occurring back here, suggesting we could come all the way back down here. He saw that as very possible. I viewed that as a possibility, but I said it wasn't very likely, right? That's what I've been saying in all my YouTube videos, and look what has happened. Literally all we've been doing is consolidating in the 4-cent area. There's nothing has changed here. This chart is so uber bullish, and I've compared this point in time to this point in time. If I'm correct, then we are going to see some sort of a significant rise in price similar to this. We're going to be seeing Caspa in double digits in the coming weeks here. So we'll have to see if it pans out. But again, I think my own personal educated opinion is anyone, and never financial advice, guys. Don't ever buy anything that you have not done your own due diligence on. But I think that anyone who hasn't been accumulating in this area that was not considering it back here or back here or back here, you're going to be kicking yourself, in my opinion, because then we're going to be up here and then you're going to be waiting for a pullback to back here. Okay, so it's just what I see in the charts. It doesn't need to play out that way. It's just what I'm seeing. I mean, how in the hell can you not be bullish on a project that looks like this? I don't understand it. All right, guys, I am going to tune out. Thank you so much for tuning into this live stream, which was intended to be all in the charts. I will be back with you on Sunday. If I can't figure out the technicalities behind getting this to my YouTube live stream for something that I'm scheduling, I will only be on YouTube. I'll try to get this on Twitter and YouTube again and try to get that figured out. But if not, most definitely click that bell icon on YouTube for all notifications to know when I go live on Sunday for my daily TA live stream all in the charts. We'll take a look at the weekly close, like I said, before the Eagles beat the Dolphins on Sunday Night Football. And until next time, everybody, let's all spread awareness and let's carry the education forward. Get out there and enjoy the weather, guys. Take care. And now I have to figure out how to end the live stream. This is going to be another point of fun. Let's see. How do I end the live stream?